In this section, we will talk about what is investing, and we will see some clear examples of how it looks like to set a solid foundation. Let's start with the general definition. Investing is the act of allocating or putting efforts, time, and/or money into a certain asset or endeavor that is expected to generate a future long-term benefit. For instance, putting effort, time, and possibly money into getting a school degree is an investment, because it may help you achieve your career and life goals. Another example of an investment could be putting in the effort and time into practicing a sport, which brings you satisfaction and it helps you stay healthy. Now, let's apply this to finance. Investing is the allocation of funds, which is money, into assets, such as stocks or bonds, or endeavors, like starting a project or a business, in order to generate some future gains. Essentially, investing means not spending money now to have more money to spend in the future, and by that we mean the long-term future. It's important to understand that putting money into an asset or an endeavor doesn't necessarily mean that it's an investment. In order to actually call it an investment, it is important to take into account certain crucial factors. First, you have to perform previous exhaustive analysis before making any purchasing decision. The exhaustive analysis of the assets in which you intend to invest is a basic requirement for an investment to be called an investment. You'd be speculating if you bought assets without analyzing their value or characteristics beforehand. Later, we will show you the main techniques to value assets. Second, risk versus reward. The most important factor in the world of investing is risk, since there are virtually no riskless investments. Therefore, you must pay special attention to the level of risk that you can tolerate to obtain the desired returns. Later, we will see what risk in investing is and how to manage it in your favor. Third, time horizon. As we have seen before, investments are only considered as such when they are long-term. That means holding them for 5 to 7 years or even more. On the other hand, when somebody acquires shares to sell them the very next day or even the same day, this is known as speculation. The time factor is important since the speculator intends to obtain higher returns faster, which entails more risk, while the investor intends to obtain competitive returns, minimizing risks. Alright, now let's finish up with an example of what a true investment looks like. Laura has an amazing idea to start a business, so she decides to invest $5,000 into starting Smart Pie Company, a bakery specialized in organic low-calorie pies. She also put in countless hours and efforts into finding the right people, optimizing the production and distribution systems, and coming up with new ideas. Now let's fast forward 20 years to look at how her investment turned out. Her business exploded shortly after it started, and it has had continuous growth all throughout the years. Now, the Smart Pie Company is worth $50,000, and Laura has fulfilled her dream of helping others be healthy. Now, by doing some math, we will find after 20 years, she has almost 9 times more money than when she started. Let's look at how we did that. Later in the course, we will discover all the ways that we have to measure a return on an investment. But now, looking at this example, we have to start with our current amount of $50,000. Then, we subtract the $5,000 initial investment and we get her net worth after the 20 years, which is $45,000. Then, to get the actual return, we have to divide the $45,000 net worth by the initial investment of $5,000, which turns out to be 900%, or 9 times her initial investment. Thank you for watching this video. In the next sections, we're gonna see why investing is so important. We're gonna start talking about the power of compounding, and we'll also start seeing stocks and how they work.